Chapter 22. The dalliance of Shiva and Shiva on the Himalayas. In the timeless expanse of the universe, upon the sacred heights of the celestial Mount Kailāsa, there lived the Supreme Lord, Shiva, the bearer of the trident, and his beloved consort Satī, the daughter of Daksha. It was a time when the heavens themselves were enveloped in the lush embrace of the monsoon season, the air thick with the fragrance of rain-soaked earth and the music of roaring clouds. As the season of clouds arrived in full splendour, casting its spell upon the earth below, Satī, the devoted wife of Shiva, gazed out upon the wondrous landscape from their divine abode. The air was filled with the scents and sounds of nature, and a longing stirred in her heart, a desire to share the beauty of this season with her beloved husband. She turned to Shiva, who sat in deep meditation, the crescent moon adorning his matted locks, and spoke with a voice as soft as the whispers of the wind. Sati's request. "O Lord of the Devas, O my dear husband Shiva," she began, her eyes sparkling with the light of love, "please hear my words and grant my humble request. The season of clouds, this monsoon so enchanting, has arrived. The heavens are alive with clusters of dark clouds in shades of grey and silver, their rumbling music filling the sky with an orchestra that echoes across the quarters." Satī paused, her delicate hands gesturing towards the sky, where clouds of diverse hues danced. The vibrant kadamba flowers, drenched in nectarine drops, spread their sweetness, their essence carried by swift gusts of wind, which whispered secrets to the earth below. "See, O beloved Shiva," she continued, her voice filled with a mixture of awe and longing. "The gusts of wind, laced with sprays of water and the fragrance of blossoms, captivate the heart. The powerful rumblings of the clouds, filled with the promise of a heavy downpour, shake the heavens. Their brilliance is marked by flashes of lightning, and their roar is as a lion's, heralding the arrival of rain." With a sigh, Satī looked towards the horizon where the sun and moon had vanished behind the thick veil of clouds, leaving the world in a twilight glow. The day itself seemed to blend into night, casting a melancholic shroud over the world. "O Shiva, in this season, the hearts of those separated from their lovers are filled with sorrow," she said, her voice tinged with a sadness that only deep love can bring. She described how the clouds, restless and wild, did not settle in one place but drifted across the sky, their shadowy forms threatening to fall upon the heads of those below. "The mighty trees," she added, "bend and sway as if dancing in the wind, their branches quivering in joy and fear alike. The cranes fly above, their white bodies stark against the dark clouds, like the foam upon the river Yamuna." Sati's words were as vivid as the scene she painted. The courtyards of temples, once dry, were now lush with greenery, as even the stones seemed to sprout life in this blessed season. "O odd-eyed lord," she teased, referring to Shiva's third eye that rested upon his forehead. "The peacocks are rejoicing at the sound of thunder, their plumes spread wide as they dance in delight. But alas, the same clouds that bring joy to them pelt me with harsh hailstones, as if to taunt me." Her voice took on a tone of gentle reproach. "Even the humble kakora birds and the crows seek shelter in this weather, building nests to protect themselves. But you, my lord, have not yet made a home for us. Without a sanctuary to shield us from the storm, how can we find peace and happiness?" Satī, with her eyes filled with tender entreaty, continued, "O Pinaka-bearer, do not let this monsoon cause us hardship, I beg of you. Create a dwelling for us, a place where we may reside in comfort. Whether it be on the peak of Kailāsa, amidst the verdant forests of the Himalayas, or the sacred lands of Mahakasi, find us a home, my lord." Shiva's response, Shiva, who had listened to his beloved with a serene smile, was moved by her earnestness. The moon upon his forehead shone brighter, as if smiling in agreement. With a laugh that echoed through the mountains, he replied, "O my dearest Satī, beautiful one, be at ease. The clouds that trouble you cannot reach the heights where I can create an abode for us." His eyes twinkled with the wisdom of ages as he continued, "The clouds may cover the ridges of the Himalayas, but they do not venture to the peaks where we can reside in peace. Even the mightiest of them cannot reach above the summits of Kailāsa or Sumeru." Taking Sati's hands in his, he assured her, Choose where your heart desires, my love. Shall we dwell on the sacred slopes of the Himalayas, where the air is filled with the songs of bees and the laughter of Siddha women? Or perhaps on the golden peaks of Mount Meru, where the celestial maidens, the daughters of gods and kings, will welcome you with joy? He spoke of wondrous lands where the eternal spring bloomed, where lakes gleamed with blue lotuses and golden lilies, and where the trees were laden with fruits of every kind. In those lands the trees are like kalpavriksha, granting every wish, and the air is fragrant with the blossoms of apricot and saffron. The birds sing in chorus, and even the beasts are tamed by the serenity of the place. Shiva paused, his eyes gazing into the distance, as if seeing these places in his mind's eye. Or perhaps you would prefer the crystal peaks of Kailāsa itself, our current abode, where the river Ganga flows with the purity of moonlight, or the heights of Meru, where the guardians of the directions reside in splendour. Sati's choice. Touched by Shiva's loving words, Sati smiled, her heart overflowing with love. "O great Lord, all these places are wondrous indeed, but my heart is set upon the Himalayas. Let us dwell there amidst its tranquil groves and sacred waters, where we may be surrounded by the beauty of nature and the songs of the Siddhas." Shiva, pleased by her choice, lifted her in his arms and with a wave of his hand transported them to the very summit of the Himalayas. It was a place of unparalleled beauty, where crystal-clear lakes sparkled under the sun, surrounded by groves of flowering trees and the laughter of divine beings. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of lotuses and the gentle hum of bees. There, in that divine paradise, Shiva and Sati spent countless years, lost in the bliss of each other's company. They wandered from peak to peak, sometimes visiting the golden heights of Meru, at other times exploring the secret gardens of the gods. But always they returned to their home in the Himalayas, where the mountains stood as silent witnesses to their eternal love, the eternal bond. Thus the great Lord Shiva and his beloved Sati lived in a world of their own making, a paradise on earth, far from the cares of the cosmos. They nurtured their love like a tender sapling, watering it with the emotions of their hearts until it grew into a mighty tree, strong and eternal. The days and nights passed in a timeless dance as they gazed into each other's eyes, finding all the joy and meaning of the universe reflected there. This was the story of Shiva and Sati, whose love defied the seasons, whose bond was as eternal as the mountains themselves. They were not merely husband and wife, but two souls entwined in the cosmic dance of creation and destruction, forever united in the divine rhythm of the universe. And thus they lived in blissful union atop the sacred peaks, where the heavens kissed the earth, and where love was the only law that reigned supreme.